But basically, since this has been implemented, it's doubled the ones I've closed. So I've got two that are closed due to this whole process and setup and marketing, and then two that are come from outside. The two that came through, it's 55,000 in revenue.
Nice.
Yeah, and really, it's the seasonality thing, really. So that's really this spring.
Yeah, this is so. I pulled some other metrics too. So here's the AI conversation metrics that's fascinating, right? Total outbound messages between Sunny and Carly and automations, 4,860. Total
Wow.
inbound messages, 300. So there's a 16-to-1 ratio. System is doing a lot of the talking. And then we've had 400 appointment reminders sent automatically.
Okay.
Total calendar appointments, I'm showing 38 total. So
Okay.
23 confirmed, 5 showed, 8 canceled, 2 no showed, right? Yeah. So I guess time saved would be.
Yeah, a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
We really built, it's really the process, right? So that it's all about the bottom of the funnel, but all the work in that process to move people and the reminders and automate it as much as possible just really elevates what I have to do and what my team has to do. Yeah, Glenn Millar, M&S Homes LLC, and I serve the affordable housing industry. We have a mobile home park and we have used homes we're rehabbing and selling and filling out the rest of the empty lots in the community. And it really just competes against the 3-bedroom apartment for the rental, but is more affordable than that.
Awesome. All right, well, taking me back to early September, what was breaking that made you say, I've got to do something about this?
Yeah, so early September, it was not quite a year after we had purchased this community, and I knew that I needed to improve my sales close rates and really my marketing. I'm an operator. I'm not so much of a sales and marketing guy, although I can do it, but it's draining on me from the energy perspective. And I know it's a numbers game. And so I knew that if I was going to sell the amount of homes I need to sell and really turn this property, I needed to figure out a process and a system to help me do that. Because I was not reaching out, but I was using a personal Facebook account to list my homes for sale. And I was having a lot of conversations on Facebook Messenger with potential prospects. And so it was a lot of the same conversation over and over again, and really almost to the point where it did turn into a sales script, but it's interruptions for me throughout the workday. But it's like, okay, well, do I hire somebody to sit here and answer these things all day? Because what I'm seeing is that it needs to be almost an immediate response if you're going to hook somebody and get them scheduled for a showing. If you wait 24 hours, they're probably gone. But it wasn't quite to the point where I was willing to hire somebody full time to do that. Although that was one option we could have set up.
Cool. So some things that stand out to me. One, it's you had actually really worked the system and figured out what the script was, which was excellent. And what you were weighing in your mind is the cost of hiring somebody or an alternative solution, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And how I can alleviate because for me, it's like I can be doing much higher level work. I don't need to be answering conversations, right? But it just takes away the focus, right? And whatever I'm doing, if I have to stop and answer, it one, relieve the issue from me, and then two, how do we do this? What's the most effective way to do it?
Yeah, it's that darn switch tasking, right? Like the studies show, it takes 15 minutes to get back on track every time you switch. Yep.
Yes, the context switching. Yeah, multitasking is baloney. So
yeah. What was the moment when you first thought, okay, this is actually working?
It was somewhere in, I guess it would have been late November, December, somewhere around there when we actually had the first showing that was scheduled. We had some marketing set up, we had the bot set up, and I worked through with you and how to get the conversational flow and the chat bot.
Yep.
But I think when I saw the end-to-end, someone actually scheduled, and I went to the logs and I looked at the conversation. I was like, okay, it's actually doing what I want. It qualified the person, it asked the questions about pets, it asked who's going to be living with them. I don't have to worry that it's going to be somebody that's trying to be a landlord in my community. And it scheduled them. And it did. I think it happened while I was sleeping. So that was like a perfect example. Yeah. Well, in my demographic, factory workers and folks who work shifts. So definitely they get off at 11 o'clock at night. And I'm not trying to check my phone then, but they are.
Yeah, exactly. What can you do now in the business that you literally couldn't do before? Like you'd mentioned, I now can focus on higher leverage activities. So that time was freed up. What are you focusing on then?
Yeah, well, for me, this property is not a full-time work event for me, but I can grow my portfolio. I can spend time on other business activities. Within this property itself, I can focus more. Like if I even look at the property manager side and the time that this saves for them and a lot of the back and forth, they're able to rehab more homes because this is the same for me. I've got two property managers and it's a husband wife team, and they are actually doing they're contractors as well. So they're turning my used homes so they can focus on that instead of fielding calls. Once we get through this used inventory, I've already set up agreements with manufacturers for the new homes, and so it'll be, for me, it's more focusing on that. What's the right model of home to bring in? How far away is it? Cost, all that. What's the right price point? And so it's enabled me to be more strategic in the business.
Awesome. Tell me about a specific buyer who came through the system, like from start to finish. What happened from what you saw?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I had just recently had a cash buyer come through, and it was like she found the website through, we had our ads going, we had found the website, started talking with the chat bot, and it just was pretty seamless. I think I have to go review the conversation, but she didn't have any pets. She's like 25, 30 years old, and she's a cash buyer. She's looking for a place in the area. I think she was like a general manager of a Pizza Hut or something in the area, and yeah, she just wanted to get a fresh start, and it was the right fit. She scheduled and came out the next week, took a look at our homes, and actually her dad got involved in the inspection process a little bit. So like they're very thorough for mobile home buyers, and actually that's good. That's what we want. But yeah, it just worked out really well. The transaction went through. I didn't have to even push anybody into the lending segment of our business or our partnership, and it was a quick close deal. And yeah, it was right in that demographic of either, we have a lot of single moms that we end up catering to, and we also end up just young families that are looking for a low cost of living, but something that they can own. And the chat bot, I think, has just been great because it's been learning as it goes.
Mm.
It's learned. I think it's kind of learned the demographics even of what we're looking for.
Yeah, awesome. So what did you stop doing once Sunny and Carly went live? Sunny and Carly are the voice AI and the chat AI, right? That's what we named them anyway.
Yeah, I stopped worrying so much. I think that's a big thing. I know I had, it sounds stupid, but like when you start to see something work and you can just take that breath as a business owner, and that because as a business owner, you're it, right? You're the buck stops with you. And sometimes you're like, well, I don't know, like you're taking a risk on something. Is this going to work? Cost X. And like, I think it just gave me the confidence to relax a little bit, and it helps you to make better decisions. So tactically, like we talked, I freed up time on me fielding questions and inquiries, but then I could focus more on the strategic direction of the property and our throughput on bringing homes in. But just that peace of mind, I think, is crucial.
What about time savings? How many hours a week do you think you got back? Or even Stephanie, like how many hours
Yeah.
do you think she got back as well?
It's hard to even quantify, right? Because Stephanie, right, she's showing homes to people who aren't properly qualified. That wastes just an hour per showing, but the conversation easily could be 5 hours a week easily on her end, just on poor showings. For me, fielding conversations with people, that could be more. It could be 10 hours a week, especially when you add the context switching. If I'm working on like a deep work task and then I have to stop just to answer, it's really hard to measure. It's probably more than 10 hours a week because sometimes you just need to turn everything off and focus. And I'm a person who puts my phone on do not disturb all the time, and I just leave it that way because I need to get it done. I'm working.
Yeah. What hourly value do you put on your time and on Stephanie's time?
Yeah, I put 150, 200 an hour on my time at least, and that's probably being conservative. But Stephanie's probably 50 to 70 an hour when you look at the value of the work they're doing and transforming the the mobile homes.
Let's say if a buddy who owns another mobile home park, like you asked, like, is this something I should do? What would you tell them?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say absolutely. If their goal is, if they've got a sales process and they need to turn homes, I would say absolutely, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a huge difference if you've got a proven process, you've got a script, you've got it figured out, and you're just like, now I need to automate it, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the things I've seen, and you can tell me if you feel this is true or not. Adding AI too early to a system or a process just accelerates whatever chaos is there if you don't have like a proper process in place, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. And we worked this a little bit on the marketing side, and they played with like the Facebook ads and that kind of stuff. And that's always an ongoing thing, I think. But yeah, at the end of the day, you can have the best process, but if you don't know what works yet, it could be too early, and it could just be another process.
All right, so let's talk about expectations versus reality. What did you expect going in to our engagement, and what did you actually get, and what do you feel is the gap?
I think expectations were pretty well met. I knew that because I had seen some other big property management companies that had set up the AI chatbots on their websites. And so I knew that if we did it, like, it would fill the process. I think the part that I didn't know is if it would substantially improve the overall throughput, right? Because it ties to marketing so heavily. And I wasn't sure. Some people don't like talking to AI, right? And they know that, and they'll tell you that. Some people don't care. So I don't think there's a gap. For me, it was, this property specifically is more about validating the market, right? Because you do as much as you can up front and due diligence, but you really don't know until you get into it and you start doing it. And for me, it's like, okay, I can sell at this point, so I know it works. Okay, now can I automate it? So I think I got everything I was expecting and more, because you've been helpful with trying to tweak the marketing side, even though it's not what I hired you to do. And so that's been really helpful, just being able to pick your brain and see how we put it all together.
Awesome. Is there anything we built that surprised you in a good way? And if not, that's fine.
No, I don't think surprising. No, I think you were recommended to me and became highly recommended through Derek Larson. I had high expectations, I guess, to begin with, so I wasn't surprised per se. But I think just kind of seeing the quality of the chatbot, right? Because there's other chatbots you talk to online, and it's like they're not that great. I think what we've got set up works pretty well, and you guys are always tweaking and updating it, and so it's just getting better and better as it goes.
Awesome. Cool. Is there anything else you'd want to, if somebody were to watch this case study, is there anything you'd want them to know or that I haven't asked?
No, I think there is a lot with everyone pushing on AI right now. I think what you said earlier on, kind of having an established baseline helps, because AI is not going to figure out how to do something for you. It can do something that you already know how to do and automate it, right? But it can it's like that AI employee, right? It can do it for you, so you don't have to, but it's not going to necessarily innovate a new solution for you. That's the limitation, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It doesn't have the intuition. It doesn't have a lot of those things that are uniquely human that help us bridge the gap faster, right?
Yeah.
It's getting there, and it surprises me all the time, but at the same time, I'm just like, why don't you get this? Right? It's like talking to a really smart intern and just being like, come on. Okay.